Hello, Crystal.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi. I have a question for you. My name is Sheldon. I'm Nami's partner. Just
Hi,
jumped
Miss
on.
Sheldon.
Hi. I got a question for you. You go back, 'cause I was doing some research in your background, and you kind of filled in the gaps just now. And when I look at what you were doing, everything that you described, it takes me back to you. You kind of come from a musical pedigree, a historical pedigree, because you're kind of doing the thing because you're from Brooklyn. Stephanie Mills is from Brooklyn, so you guys have the theater situation. Then there's the whole the gospel aspect of it. You got the Aaron Hart, Hezekiah Walker situation. So are you? And then of course, you talked about DJ Rogers, and of course, you related to the Wilson family. You know,
Yes.
KC, Kansas City, Oklahoma, New York situation. So are
I
you?
was actually born in Kansas City, Missouri. I just don't
Yes.
know anything about it because I've been in New York all my life. But my mother's roots is in the Midwest. So my brother, who's older than myself, and my sister, who's younger than me, they were both born in New York. I'm like Dorothy from the Wiz. But yeah, you're right. I come from a pedigree of music.
So when you look at that time period when you're making the transition into demos, describe the scene in New York at that time because you're coming from this theatric gospel background, you have this musical pedigree, people who you related to in your family. So all of that is kind of like all in your DNA. So now
Yes.
you're shifting into wanting to do demos, but describe the scene in New York around that time. So I would say probably it may be early, maybe going into mid 90s. How
Or
accessible?
even before that, I'm a little older than
Okay,
maybe.
okay. So let's
So
so let's say
I was
let's say
that
late
whole
80s,
era of me doing demos and trying to get put on and all of that. That was the late 80s. Like I was living in Queens at the time. So my focus kept me safe because that was definitely the crap epidemic and I was on my own. So I could have definitely veered off into other things, had I not had the focus of knowing what I wanted to do. But I just borrowed from everything. My uncle's, his name is Sam Johnson. He's a legend. They sampled his stuff on Jadakiss We Gonna Make It. That was my uncle. And so during that time, we didn't live far from one another. So he basically mentored me. And after I would get off of work, I would go and like, now they call it shedding. Back then it was jam sessions. And I was developing and learning how to write at 17, 18 in the late 80s. Um, so by 90, I went out to California because a lot of my family's out there. My mom had relocated to Cali. And, I knew definitely that Cali had a music scene or whatever. Out there, I hooked up with my cousins, Andre and Brian Wilson. They had a group at the time called 4D. It was basically the Gap Band sons. It was Andre and Brian, who's
Hold on a minute.
Brian's.
Stop there. Four
I'm
deep.
sorry.
Four deep.
Yeah,
They did a demo, didn't they? That never got released.
I'm sure they did. I'm
I
sure they did.
I can't listen. You just revealed something here that's just a big new Jack Swing mystery.
Yeah, so yeah, exactly. It was
Is
definitely in
what
that era. This was 90 when I worked with them when they were signed. And I remember we did a lot of this I was doing background and stuff with them and we did a lot of stuff at Solar Record Studio. What's his name? Dick
Dick
Griffey Studio.
Griffin.
I don't remember the name of it, but it was the same studio that Dre and all of them wound up, getting their start out of with Suge and everything.
was it
So,
Can-Am? Was it
and my
Can-Am?
yeah, mhm.
Can-Am.
And it's so
Yeah.
funny because I just spoke to my cousin Brian this morning. He's working on some stuff. They did a residency, Gap Band 2 in Vegas not too long ago. But yeah, so it was basically Charlie's son, Loretta, which is Charlie, the Gap Band's sister. She has sons that are so dope. One of them's name is Black. Wow, he has the same name as that heavyweight guy that does rock. Oh my God, what's his name? But his real name is Drew. But he's produced a lot of stuff like for Snoop and all of them. I'm trying to think of the name. Jelly Roll, but not Jelly
Yes.
Roll, the white guy. It's Jelly Roll, a hip hop producer from Cali. But he's my cousin. His name is Drew, and so his brother, uh, Charlie's son, and Andre and Brian had a group called 4D.
Yeah.
I was out there. They had me, working and doing a lot of demos and again, learning some more about writing, singing background, and all of that kind of stuff. I was about 20 at that time. It was like at night. So
That demo
yeah,
tape is out there somewhere. I didn't realize you were singing on it. It is out. You can listen to it on YouTube. Some of the tracks from it.
oh wow, okay. Yeah, I asked my cousin. I just spoke to him this morning actually because he was asking me, he's working on a song, and he was asking me, to give some little creative input or whatever. So
Wow.
actually,
So
I
doing
wound up going back to New York after that. I realized I wasn't really an LA girl, and I missed hip hop, to be honest. And when I say hip hop, I don't really mean just the music. I just mean the culture. Uh, it was so dynamic. It was so infectious. Like I said, it gave you that mindset to believe that you could do anything as a young chocolate girl like myself. And up until that point, I had already, seen that come into fruition. I'd done everything that I wanted to do. So to me, there was no stopping. So I came back to New York. And I was singing background for God for like a hot minute until I got fired.
For who?
And this was their second album, God.
Oh, okay, okay. I think okay. So yeah, I guess just before we get there,
Oh,
um,
I have a lot of stories, so I'm sorry if I'm going.
no. It's the way, and
I'm
I'm
like
sure.
an artist. My whole life has been filled with, I guess for people that don't know, it might seem like I'm name dropping, but
No. But
that's
this is
my
the
whole
perfect
life.
place. This is the perfect place. So don't worry. I think because I know Steve and Sheldon will have plenty of questions around a lot of the artists that you worked with, but I guess the question that I had just before we get there was quitting theater. It felt like that was a secure revenue generating job. Why did you give that up? Because theater seems to be where everyone wants to go and do Broadway and off Broadway. So why
Right,
give?
but see, at the time, like I said, I started at 11.
Okay.
I was a lover of singing since I can remember, as far as I can. Like I told you, I knew that I had an intimate thing with music from the time I heard songs in the key of life from DJ Rogers. I was a child. I was like literally second and first grade, having a personal relationship with music. I didn't really understand the I didn't understand what I had at my hands, at my disposal in the theater world at the time, because I had been doing it from 11 to 20, on and off. Of course, school was a factor, so I wasn't like constantly working. But from 11 to 20, I did 3 plays that are major. So I'm signing autographs at 11. They have my posters up in my junior high school, which is middle school. So at 20, I like my friends, like they knew like, oh, she does plays, but they didn't really like know. I wanted y'all to know, like, if you on the radio. I was silly, you know what I mean? But I loved music. Now I'm back in the theater, which is, I guess we'll get to
Yeah, we'll
eventually.
get to
I
yeah.
wound up going 360 and realizing like, hey, that's a passion and that's where you started. So actually I'm doing a play this coming fall, an off-Broadway play that I'm excited about. But yeah, I didn't know, like, you have Oscar-winning actors and actresses, and their main thing is to do Broadway. And here I am, 18, 19, doing Broadway. And I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat?
We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind of.
And somewhere in between
us for even loving us, on which I didn't miss you.
What was it like growing up?
She's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No, okay.
They don't understand what Jodeci boys do when they all
Play it.
all these guys, they all work together.
I mean, I love all different genres.